All right, welcome YouTube. I'm here with Nick Johnson. Your YouTube is Nick Johnson AW, right?
Yep, Nick Johnson AW.
All right, so he's my coach, team captain, Home 9. He's the guy that got me started with the 8-week program that I've been doing, the progressive overload, all of that good stuff. He's the one that's putting on the, what do we actually call it, the Camel City Challenge?
Camel City Classic.
Camel City Classic. Tomorrow, here in Winston-Salem. The turnout looks like it's going to be good.
Yeah, looking really good. We had early weigh-ins today. We were projecting, maybe 5 or 10 people showed up. Not a lot for a local tournament.
Yeah.
And we got nearly 20 people already. A whole bunch of names. Like, we were basing our projection off of social media interaction.
Yeah.
And we had several people show up who had just seen the flyer or heard it by word of mouth, called me by on my personal phone, got information. So looking like it's going to be a really good turnout.
Sorry, didn't mean to yawn.
No, you're fine.
It's getting late here, but yeah. So the turnout does look good. The classes are stacked. Even the amateur classes are absolutely stacked. Which, I mean, people that have been following my channel for a while, including you, know that I have a big problem with like obvious pros pulling amateurs.
Right.
And there's not much you can do as a promoter, and I'm actually seeing that now, because I was hard on the promoters before, saying, hey, just fucking stop them. You know what I mean? Just stop them from pulling amateurs, because it's your event and you can make the rules. But it's hard, because it's like, okay, we had a guy walk in tonight that he says he has 3 years experience, and he pulled Damian Schlosser, which, for any of you that know anything about Carolina rankings, there's no doubt that Damian's number 2 right now. I mean, even though he's off the list,
Yeah.
he's number 2 in the Carolinas for 180 and under. Is that fair to say?
Number 2, yeah, 1 being Hunter Knopfs.
Yeah, definitely one being Hunter Knopfs.
The only people that you could put in there with them is like Joe Rogers and David Redman.
Okay, so
But
arguably anywhere from 2 to 4 we
2
could
to
say,
4.
but I would say that he is 2. But
yeah,
he's off the list.
He's up there.
Yeah, he's
for
off
sure.
the list. But let's just say top 5,
Yeah,
180
for sure.
and under
Absolutely.
Carolinas.
Not anywhere.
And this dude smoked him. I mean, handled him,
Yeah.
smoked him, and gave you fits.
Yeah.
And you are arguably, you're right up there with like 10 and 9 in the 220s in the Carolinas.
I'm close.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying you're right in the same realm. You're within spitting distance. So, let's just say you're 11 or 12. Okay, but I mean,
That's fair,
the point is that you are a professional with 3+ years.
3 years now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
3 years in. So you have 3 years, and you're a pro, and you're not just a run-of-the-mill pro like me. I'm just a run-of-the-mill pro,
Yeah.
low-level pro, whatever. You're right on top or right next to a top 10 list
Mhm.
for your region, right? Okay. So and Damien is in the top 5 of his class in his region,
Mhm.
and this guy gave you fits and smoked him.
It's true.
Okay, so to me, that's not an amateur in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
Okay, and it drives me nuts because I'm not saying that he's being dishonest, because I'm sure he's not.
I need to squeeze by.
Well, go ahead. There we go. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me know. Oh, I might be having a grandbaby tonight. So.
Oh,
yeah,
wonderful.
My 3rd. So that's what she's figuring out.
Okay.
But anyway, so and I'm not saying the guy's being dishonest. You said that you felt, and so did Damien. You felt that he was definitely strong as hell, and he definitely did have technique. But when you stopped him, you could feel that amateur or low-level pro move where you open up, you fall away from your
There's
arm.
certain things, as you get better, like somebody could be super strong, just like this,
Yeah.
right? And they may beat you, but you can still tell they have no clue what they're doing.
Right.
You know.
And now I didn't get a chance to grip up with him. I got to grip up with somebody else. I don't know if we want to mention who he is or what.
I wouldn't mention
Okay.
names,
So
just
I
for
got to,
competition.
I got to grip up with him, and he's another one that has only been training for a short period of time, and I could feel that he has more of that amateur-esque feel to him.
Right.
Although he's just as strong, just in different areas as the other guy. So, and then you have another guy that's 2 years in, training with Rick Layton, and he's pulling pro only.
Correct.
You know, so I don't know where I fall on this. Like, I know that before tonight, I was feeling bad about wanting to pull amateur and pro. Because I was going to pull pro, no matter what. This was going to be my first time testing the waters in pro. You know, let's see what happens. But I didn't know if I wanted to also pull amateur to kind of see, you know, where I was there too. You know, like, am I at the top of the pond there, or and judging by what I saw tonight, I'm no longer feeling bad about pulling amateur at all, because I think I don't think I'm going to win amateur.
Yeah, it's one of those things, you know, a lot of people talk about being cursed with strength in arm wrestling for learning, but it's also, you know, you're cursed with strength, and then, you know, do you get the opportunity to pull amateurs or not? You know, that's a big question.
Yeah.
And then also, I feel like amateur and like pro, these titles are kind of relative to the area and to the event you're going to. You know, you may be a high-level pro in your state or your city, but then you get on a national stage and like you're not even hanging with anybody.
Right, and then I would also say that the amateurs that are coming into the sport today are better than the pros of 30 years ago.
Absolutely.
In a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And you know, very famous arm wrestlers have said it. You know, like Devin said, when he got into the game, he was a better arm wrestler than the people who came before him because he had them to study from. And the same goes for the generation after, and the generation after, and the generation after. And it's building blocks, right? And that's the natural evolution of the sport.
Yeah.
So it gets to be a very murky and gray area, because you've got these amateurs that are now coming in that even 10 years ago would have been considered a mid to high level pro off the bench.
Well, even in the 3 years I've been pulling, right? Like I've had several people I've trained with and that like have come to me and trained with me, you know, and I've taught people. And like even in the 3 years, it started off like early on, like I'd arm wrestle somebody, I'd show them what a top roll was, what a hook was, all these moves. Now somebody shows up first day of practice and they're like, oh, I know what a top roll is.
Yeah.
I know what a hook is.
Yeah,
You know,
because I've watched Devin, I've watched
Devin,
John and
yeah,
Michael.
I've watched
and,
Devin and
yeah.
Thor, I've
Yeah.
watched, you know,
Yeah.
seen Ingen stuff, you know, it's all this, like there's so much content out there,
Yeah.
and it's so viewable. Brian Shaw's now arm wrestling, Juji's done arm wrestling,
Yeah.
Larry Wheels.
Yeah, and that's the thing, the crossover to powerlifting, oh my good God. All of these new guys that I'm seeing that are powerlifters that are now becoming arm wrestlers. First of all, I just want to let you know what kind of fits that gives us arm wrestlers. First of all, we love it, okay? Obviously, true arm wrestlers will only want to see the sport grow, period.
Yeah.
All right? We don't care if we get our asses kicked in the process. Obviously, it hurts our egos, but we want to see the sport grow, period. So the more the merrier. But let me tell you what you powerlifters are doing to us. We take your hands and we feel dominant and we feel great. And then, you know, we slip because you have side pressure for days, or you have back pressure for days. And then we get in the strap with you and we're tied to a Ford F-150, and we're just like, what the hell do we do? You know, and with all the knowledge and all the, you know, I go back to John Brzenk pulling that, the country's strongest man. It was like Finland's strongest man or some shit. So he had done, don't get me wrong, he did an entire day of like beat the champ, you know? And for the most part, they were amateurs at best and just guys out of the crowd, right? So, you know, he wasn't working hard. I'm sure he had a couple of matches where he's like, oh, you know, I felt that guy. But this guy steps up, goes into a full flop wrist press, right? And John is redlining the whole time in the straps trying to beat this guy, to the point where this guy pulls his lat and can't go to the competition that he was supposed to be there for the next day. And John barely beat him. I mean, barely beat him. And this is John Brzenk, the greatest of all time. And he barely beat this guy. It's just, they're such naturally strong humans. Now, don't get me wrong. I say naturally in quotes, because they're probably chemically enhanced. But
I do think we're already starting to see it. So in our area, typically the new guys, younger, less experienced guys, and even some of our more experienced guys, they kind of train in like a Devon style. You know, it's volume, all hand and wrist. You know.
I mean, I'm doing more max effort stuff now because of you, but I am more hand and wrist.
But I see it online, and it's maybe different in other areas. I can't speak for anywhere besides, you know, where I've lived, where I've been. But I feel like we're going to slowly start seeing this change to where there's going to be more compound lifts. Like people are going to be doing heavy rows, heavy seated
I'm
curls.
already
like-
seeing it in Australia.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
Ryan and Lachlan
Yeah,
are
but,
doing 160 kilo fucking rows.
Yeah, but then you got like Levon, right? And
Yeah.
Levon's doing these massive seated curls,
Yep.
and he gets up there and he's benching with Larry. He's doing 500-pound bench press.
Yeah.
I mean, that's insane.
Yeah.
I feel like slowly it's going to be like, whereas me, even I used to, and you used to, would train your hand and wrist every day, 5,
Yeah.
6, 7 days a week. Now it might get to the point where people are doing, bench press rows.
Yeah, I mean,
and doing
well,
arm wrestling specific one day a week.
look at Ryan, right? I mean, everybody sleeps on Ryan Bowen, but I honestly think he's one of the best measures of what a ordinary arm wrestler, or ordinary guy, a regular guy arm wrestling
Yeah,
really
sure.
can look at.
Mhm.
You know, he's not super tall, he's not super gifted in any one area. He was actually very, very skinny and very weak when he started, right? And he was a tennis pro. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
that's where he started, right? So he trained his hand and wrist for almost 10 years,
Mhm.
just his hand and wrist, and he went pretty damn far with that. And now you look at him, and I'm sure, he says he's not on stuff. And look, I love to take people at their words, but in this day and age, I just don't.
Yeah.
Whether or not he is or isn't, whatever, that's up for
Did you
debate.
see the video? He's on HGC.
Yeah, which is even less than TRT.
Yeah.
It's
like some
even less
doctor
effective than
prescribed
TRT.
something, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's even less effective than doctor prescribed testosterone.
Yeah.
So basically, it's like garbage. Like
Yeah.
he's not even on anything real.
Right.
It's just garbage. I mean, hell, I'm on more than that, and I'm still within my naturals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, technically, if he's telling the truth, I'm on a whole lot more shit than he.
Basically taking creatine.
Yeah, that's basically what he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically what he's doing. I mean, with me being on the small dose of TRT that I'm on, I'm at I'm not even at high normal. I'm at like 2/3. You know what I mean? Like I'm just above mid. Like if you broke it down to low,
Yeah.
mid, high, I'm at the high level of mid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, or low level of high.
It's
You
about
know.
2/3 of this.
Yeah, so like they have a scale of like for a normal male, it's anywhere from like 250 to like 1100 or 1200,
Yeah.
depending
Yeah.
on
Deciliter,
who you talk to.
dec-
Yeah, deciliter per nanogram or nanograms per deciliter.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting somewhere in between the 7 and 8.
Okay.
So I mean, like I've got a long way to go before I'm super physiological or doing steroids or
Mhm.
anything like that. I'm just trying to live a better life. You know what I mean? Like it isn't even for the arm wrestling, it's just for a better life. And so far so good. Losing weight, feeling better, doing good. But the point is if Ryan's telling the truth, I'm on a whole lot more shit technically than he is. Okay?
Right.
So let's look at him. His hand and wrist is definitely his main weapon. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But now that he's been on this for 16 weeks where he's been doing, basically powerlifting. He's not doing squatting yet. He's doing bent over rows instead of squatting to build up his lower back.
Mhm.
So he's doing, bench pressing. What is it? He's doing deadlifts, right? I think he's doing deadlifts.
I've seen him do rack pull, bent over rows. I think he does deadlifts. I don't know.
Yeah, but basically it's strength training.
Yeah. Yeah.
100% like powerlifting,
Yeah.
strength training. And he not only looks massive, in 16 weeks, he looks completely different than he did.
Yeah.
He is, I don't know if you saw his latest video with Lachlan, but he looks like a damn
They're doing
beast.
ready goes, right?
Yeah, and he was smoking Lachlan like 85 to 90% of the time. And Lachlan was miles ahead of him. Now, I'm not saying that puts Ryan in the conversation for the world best or anything. No, but because we know where Lachlan stands. Lachlan, came out of Australia and got tested, and he didn't do all that well. Okay,
Yeah.
Against the elites, he didn't do all that well. But he is definitely the biggest fish in his small pond of Australia by a long shot. And now you've got Ryan, that's closed the gap.
Yeah.
And he's closed the gap through having a superior hand than Lachlan to start with,
Mhm.
and then doing the same training that Lachlan does, because Lachlan's one of his damn coaches for the strength training, doing the same strength training that Lachlan does to build up the rest of it. And I thought something that he said that was very interesting that I kind of want to gain out of my journey, which is, he said all of this supporting strength that he has now, through his pecs, his shoulders, his back, all of that, has given him more confidence to use his hand more efficiently.
Okay.
And it supports his weapon more.
Mhm.
And that's that to me put a finite point on everything on why you should be doing that. So I think you're right. I was a long-winded way to
No,
say, I
it's fine.
think you're right, but I think that the compound lifts are gonna give way to the arm wrestling stuff again. Because I don't think there is a better way to train for arm wrestling than arm wrestling.
I think it's almost like a pendulum. You know, I think
Yeah.
it's kind of like, you know, we're over here and strength training's popular, and then, you know, 5-10 years down the line, everyone's like, man, I need some hand and wrist, and the pendulum swings back, and everybody's doing hand and wrist 6 times a week.
And honestly, I think what I find fascinating is that almost all the top pullers are top rollers in the world.
Yeah, especially
Right?
super heavyweight.
Yeah, especially super heavyweight, are all top rollers. But yet, hook pulling is still so popular.
Mhm.
And it's like, I don't understand why. Like,
especially locally.
Yeah.
Like, we've got a lot
especially
of
locally, especially in the lower weights, and I just don't understand why. And I don't say that as a dig. You should have a hook. I mean, even John Brzenk, you know, spent years training his hook so that he could have one in case he needed it, and he used it quite often. But to get to a top roll,
I think locally, the issue locally, I don't know why it's popular anywhere else besides here, but I think the issue locally is because the low hand top roll is so hard for a lot of people to figure out.
maybe.
And you know, the posting top roll, somebody,
I still stand by the fact that the low hand top roll, I think, is the most technical move in arm
right,
wrestling.
but I do think it's hard to learn.
That's what I mean. It's
yeah,
the most technical.
Yeah.
You need all of it. You need your high wrist, right? So you need back pressure. You need rise, but you need rise through an unconventional way.
Mhm.
You need cupping,
Yeah.
right? And you need pronation through your wrist and your thumb at the same time,
Right.
which is so hard to get all in and you have to do it all in the same motion.
Right.
You know, it has to be a snap. And I think the best at it is Giannis. I think
Oh, for
Giannis
sure.
Amalis is the best low-handed top roller out
Most,
there.
I mean, like, we're
He's
not
crisp,
saying,
yeah.
not saying he beat like a super heavyweight,
No,
but like
no.
the most technically
Yeah.
crisp.
Him and probably Mindaugas.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, Mindaugas Terrasitis.
For like the explosive attacking style, like Matt Mask is another one.
Matt Mask is a great one,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's
I
got
mean,
it nailed down.
I love Devin too, because Devin
Yeah.
starts at the high post, and we were talking about it tonight. He has that toggle, he calls it.
Mhm.
It's either toggle high hand or toggle high wrist,
Mhm.
right? Because he doesn't call it a low bottom or a low hand top roll. He calls it a high bottom.
Yeah.
So it's either a high top or a high bottom,
Mhm.
but it's always rising.
Right.
You know, so, you know, I love that, and I think that's probably the best way to do it. Because, like, if you see Giannis, he always loads in the low hand. You see
Right.
Mindaugas, he always loads in the low hand. Devin always loads in the post.
Mhm.
And if you're going to come in, he has it on a switch where he'll low hand.
Yeah.
You know, but if you're going to stay high, he's got that threat.
And
Because if
it's
you low
hard.
hand against a post, you're fucked.
He makes it look so easy,
Yeah.
but it's
Oh,
hard
it's
to
so
sense
hard.
that when somebody's
So hard.
coming.
Especially when you started in a post.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, hell, I did it against Damien, and
It's-
I couldn't toggle shit.
Like I can do it a little bit toggling like from the low hand, but when when you've gone full low hand and then somebody switches to a post, it's really hard.
yeah, it is so
Really
difficult.
hard to
And
pull
hell, for
back.
me, it was really difficult to switch the other way.
Yeah.
Like you start as a post, and then like Damien just came straight in, and I was like, "They're too late,"
Yeah.
you know. But yet, when he said, "Okay, I'm going to go for a hook," and I started as a low hand, I was actually able to pause him.
Yeah.
Now, didn't stop him, but I was able to pause him. I got a stop on him.
Mhm.
But it shows the difference, right? Like when I'm ready for it, or when anybody's ready for it, it's one of those things where you could effectively do it. But to toggle it like that, to switch it, is just incredible.
Yeah.
But getting back to the tournament, because we don't want to talk all night. But getting back to the tournament, we had a higher than expected turnout tonight for pre-weigh-ins, early weigh-ins.
Mhm.
Tomorrow looks like it's going to be amazing based on social media interaction.
Absolutely. Yeah.
The classes are stacked as hell.
Mhm.
If any of the low-level pros like myself are out there listening, because I'm going to try to upload this tonight, pull amateur too. I'm telling you, pull amateur too, because
So amateurs are looking good too.
amateurs are looking so stacked right now. Like, I went into today before I met the guys, some of the guys that are pulling, like, okay, I feel really bad about pulling amateurs because, you know, I've been pulling 2 years in strength program, and I think I'm really, you know, doing well. And, you know, a lot of that has to do with you because, you know, a year ago you turned around and said, me, Robert Black, Cody Ward, right? Wood.
Cody Ward.
Ward.
Yeah.
Cody Ward and
Isaac Perry.
Isaac Perry
Yeah.
were the top 4 amateur super heavyweights in the Carolinas.
Yes.
You know, you put us right up there with it. And I feel like right now, and I mean no disrespect to the other three, I already beat Cody in a 3-2 super match. And he's a very strong human being. What is he, just the fourth human that could do that pronation lift that he did or some shit?
He's high up,
Yeah.
like on, when we're talking like world record
Yeah,
list, he's like
yeah.
number 4.
Yeah, he's amazing. And I beat
I
him.
don't remember what it's called. Lever top lift, yeah.
I beat him in a super match right before he did that lift too. So it's like I beat him at his peak strength.
Yeah.
I felt very, very like proud of myself for doing that. That was at the Pig Pounders.
Mhm.
And then, you know, Isaac, I mean, I've only pulled him on practice tables since my first tournament 2 years ago with him, but I felt decently comfortable against him. I feel like at least we're on the same, you know, playing field. I don't feel like he's higher than me, you know.
Mhm.
Robert Black has always gotten the edge on me, but I feel like we're on a razor's edge.
Right.
Who's the other? That was it, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
it,
you.
and me. Yeah. So, you know, I don't feel like anybody's really out of the realm of those 4 people, but I also don't feel like any one of us 4 could take on 5 of the 16 people that I saw come in today.
Right.
I just don't.
Yeah.
Like, and now I'm talking amateurs. These aren't even pros.
Yeah, and the crazy part is like I walk over to Damien, and you know, me and Damien know people from all over the United States. I'm like, you ever heard of this guy? He's like, no. And they're like I've been pulling for a year, or I've been pulling for a couple of months. Nobody knows him, and he's like strong as hell. It's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah, like I said, running through a top 5 ranked, or you know, he's not ranked anymore, but anyway, he's a top 5 180 puller in the Carolinas. Running through him like he's water, giving you fits, and you're right at the cusp of a top 10 220 pounder
Mhm.
in the Carolinas. It's sickening to me because I know what I can do against you and Damien, and it ain't nothing what they can do.
Right.
And you know, and I'm staring down the barrel of basically a shotgun tomorrow. Because the pros, I already knew I was going to get my ass handed to me, but I was going to try. And now the amateurs, whew. But yeah, I'm going to pull both because there's no sense not to. You know, I don't feel like it's an unfair challenge anymore.
Right.
You know, I don't think it's me seal clubbing anymore. You know, I'm sure there's going to be some that are going to be like, Jesus Christ, why the hell are you in this class? But there's going to be others that will be like, maybe you should give up pulling. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's a weird world out there because I know a big part of me says, like Todd Hutchings says, and like John Bersling says, that amateur classes shouldn't even exist. You should just get in there like they did and take your lumps.
Yeah.
You know, and a big part of me says that. And then another part of me says, you know, like my wife just told me tonight that she wants to pull next year. You know, I don't think there's, you know, should be any difference between as far as guys and girls, as far as like how they come up and all that. You know, I think an amateur class would really do her well because she is a true amateur. She's somebody that hears me talk about it, maybe watches a couple of videos, but really has never stepped foot on a table and heard a ready go or done anything like that. You know, that's a true amateur.
Mhm.
Whether she turns out to be strong or not, I have no idea. I know that she's got potential, but I have no freaking clue what's going to turn out.
Mhm.
That's a true amateur. I think when I first found you, I was 100% true amateur, you know?
Yeah.
I was strong as far as a human being, well, relatively speaking. I guess a blue collar strong, right?
Yeah.
Definitely not a power lifter. Definitely not a weightlifter, you know what I mean? Definitely not a...
Stronger than your average man.
Yeah, I would
You
say
know,
so.
like-
Yeah. Stronger than the average guy, but nowhere near as strong as the genetic freaks and the guys that like Ryan Belanger. I've been saying his name wrong for 2
Bellinger.
fucking years. It's not Bellinger. I've heard him pronounce his own name.
Oh,
It's
is it really?
Belanger. Yeah.
He's gonna have to tell me that before
Yeah,
I say that.
I watched it on a video. I watched it.
Oh,
I
really?
watched it on a video. Him and Donnie did a video.
That's
'Cause they're
funny though
doing-
because my family's one of the
My
names.
wife's off camera, guys. but-
Yeah, one of the names is Berlanga.
No, it's not Berlanger. It's Belanger.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
but it was
yeah.
ours was Burr,
Yeah.
and it was spelled almost the exact same way.
Yeah. So, but no, he did he's doing video collaborations with Donnie, and
I've seen that in the podcast.
yeah, and he introduced himself as Ryan Belanger, which
Huh.
means that I've been saying his name wrong
I've
for
been
2
saying it
fucking
wrong
years.
too ever since
Yeah.
I've known the guy for.
Yep.
I've
I've been saying Ryan Bellinger, and it's Belanger.
Yeah, November of 2020. Me and
Now, of
Ryan.
course, unless he's trolling everybody and just, you know, saying his name.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
That
right,
would be
just
funny,
saying his
yeah.
name wrong on purpose. But
That'd
anyway,
be awesome.
you know, somebody like him that's literally curling fucking cement wheelbarrows full of cement every day. Okay, that's going to be somebody that, I mean, from what I hear, I'm going to be training with him. So are you? Yeah, because he
Going
trains
down
with
there
Ryan Dunwoody.
every other week.
Yeah, so he already told me he can't wait to train with me. I'm like, of course, yeah, I'm a punching bag for you. Yeah.
Bellinger said that?
Yeah.
Belanger.
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 Yeah, he told me, he goes, I can't wait to train with you and all that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I can't wait to train
No.
with him.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's
we'll be
gonna be-
warm-ups for him.
Yeah, not even.
Oh, did you?
But, from what I hear, you have no choice but to go into a hook with him. Like, zero choice.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I've tried everything in the world to top roll that guy, and it's not,
Yep.
not even from a flat wrist.
So
Like,
you
it is not possible. Excuse me.
Please, if you don't mind, yeah.
Yeah,
This is good. Beer service. Beer lady! Thank you.
I have tried everything in the world to top roll that guy. I honestly think,
Cheers.
actually, I don't want to talk about it because Ryan's got a huge match coming up.
You should
He's
make a
pulling
match.
Robbie Russell. So I have theories on how
That's the guy. That's the guy that just took second place in Tennessee States in super heavyweights, and he's a 198 puller.
I believe that.
Yep.
Robbie's really.
He
he's
only
badass.
lost to Jaggers,
Mhm.
Austin Jaggers.
Yeah, I have theories on how you would beat Ryan. I can't do it. I'm not strong enough. Like I can't even. I have a theory on like how somebody stronger than me could do it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to say it.
Yeah, let's
with
not,
that
let's
match
not.
coming up.
But in any case, what I was getting at is stronger than the average human, definitely weaker than people like him. Ryan is just, I felt his hand and I was just like, are there fingers attached to that mitt? Because it's just a club of iron. It really is. It's just, like, I didn't feel fingers. I felt muscle here and then, like, muscle there and then it was air.
Yeah,
It was just insane. I was like, Jesus
his
Christ.
hands aren't like crazy. They're
No,
thick.
they're not big at all, but they're just so damn like.
Yeah.
He's like a mini Paul Walter.
Yeah,
When I felt Paul Walter's hand, the first thing I thought of was Ryan's hand, but bigger.
yeah.
But
You could convince me that Ryan's hand is like has leather on it. You know, it is so thin, so rough.
Yeah. And just so damn muscular. Same thing with Paul. Like I was saying, Paul's hand and Devin's hand are completely opposites. Devin's hand almost felt soft
Yeah.
when you pulled him, right? I mean, he felt comfortable, he felt soft, right up until the point where it wasn't. Like right up to the point where he rolls out on you, and you're just like, how the fuck did that just happen? You know? But like Paul,
He's got a lot at the thumb.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
might
yeah.
have a lot at the thumb. Yeah.
but like Paul is just like, here's my my hand made of marble.
Yeah.
And try to move it. You
I
know?
basically give him my hand. I'm like, here's my offering.
Yeah. Like, what did you say after pulling him tomorrow? I'm gonna have to ask him to airmail my fucking arm back to me.
So did you want it? Did you want to expedite
The
it? shipping?
shipping, yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's one of the things. Like, if you're pulling super heavyweight pro tomorrow, you could be pulling guys like Paul Walter. You could be pulling guys like, you will be pulling guys like Ryan Dunwoody, Scott Clements,
Steven
Santiago, right?
Sam Inigo. We call him Pork Chop.
Yeah, we call him pork chop.
Yeah,
He's
that's-
America's pork chop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those are all guys that are just holy shit. Like, I practiced with Ryan Dunwoody 2 weeks ago, and his right, well, he got you in a super match not that long ago. His right is just insane.
Hit the dude so hard his glasses fell off. Apparently, I didn't even know that until you told me.
Yeah,
that.
he caught a foul by fixing him.
Yeah.
Um,
Hit him so hard his glasses fell off, and he still caught it.
yeah, yep. Nicest guy though. I'm
He's super cool. We
once
talk
you
all
start,
the time.
yeah, once you
Yeah.
start training with him, like it's insane how nice he really is.
Well, we probably me and Ryan message like once a week.
Yeah, we do
twice a
too
week.
now.
Yeah.
We do too. My wife is like, "Is that Ryan again?" I'm like, "Yeah, we've been talking a lot."
Yeah, he's super cool.
Yeah, really
Me
cool
and him are
dude.
the exact same age. Did you know that?
Yes, I
Yeah.
did. Listen, you young fucking whipper, shut up. I got kids almost as old as you. I already told you that.
Yeah, well,
What? My oldest kid is what? Going on 22, right?
No,
She is 22.
she is 22.
She is 22.
Yeah,
that's
she
right.
was born in
Yeah, my oldest kid
So
is
she's
22.
going on 23.
24, so.
Yeah, I said almost as old as you. In case you're wondering, 2 years is almost, okay? When we're talking in the case of 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's 2 years. Not a lot. I don't want to hear it. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. We're going to have an awesome tournament tomorrow. I'm going to get my arm ripped off my shoulder. Probably both of them. ripped off my shoulders, and
Here's to a successful event.
here's to a successful event. You put on great shows, you really do.
Yes, sir.
Um,
Appreciate it.
You know, it's gonna be a great time. Come out if you can. I'm gonna try to upload this tonight. So if you're seeing this on January 13th that it was successful, I uploaded it tonight. If you're seeing it on January 14th, haul ass down to Winston-Salem and come pull in this tournament.
Yeah, even if you can't compete, spectate, good
Yeah.
food, great time.
Yep, it's at
Yeah.
Camel City Barbecue, right?
Camel City Barbecue.
Yeah,
Yep,
Camel City
Winston-Salem.
Barbecue in Winston-Salem.
Factory, yeah.
Yeah,
Camel City.
Barbecue Factory.
Barbecue
Right.
Factory,
She's
right? Come on down, and if you can't compete, spectate. And if you feel like you can't compete, just go in the amateur class and pull. Like we got you safe. We'll keep you safe. We'll make sure everything's good. Obviously, there's always danger when you're putting force against force. So don't, but we'll keep you as safe as we possibly can be. Let's put it that way, right? Because you're going to be the head ref of the amateurs. I'm
Yeah.
probably going to be the down ref of the amateurs.
More
somewhere
likely.
around there, yeah.
We'll probably
We'll
do
figure that out.
yeah.
But that's what we'll probably do, because you and I make a pretty good team, and Matt Reed and Damien will make a
Well, I
good team.
thought we did. We're making all these strength gains, and then all these
Yeah.
people coming out of nowhere.
Right? we
Apparently
thought
we both suck.
we thought we were strong up until tonight.
Yeah.
But I
now,
did.
now I feel bad. These amateurs are beating me, and I'm like, oh my god, I've been leading Ted astray for 6 months.
You heard it here first. Now, so if I lose tomorrow, it's his fault. No, I'm just kidding. Look, I'm gonna say this real quick. I pulled way too much tonight. I did, but my arm feels good. I no excuses. Okay, whatever happens tomorrow, this is by far, and I mean miles, by far, the strongest version of me that's ever stepped foot to a table. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I feel prepped. I feel ready. My right, especially my left, I could give a shit less. I pulled him at the fucking dinner table,
Yeah.
just to screw around, and yeah, definitely pulled way too much lefty. Pulled a little too much righty tonight, just fucking around with people I haven't seen in a while and all that shit. But it doesn't matter. Tomorrow, the venom's gonna be there. The competition's gonna be there. We're going to war. We're gonna see what happens.
And then tomorrow night we are going to enjoy.
And then tomorrow night we're gonna have a great dinner while while I'm sitting here like this.
I'll be feeding
Somebody's
you
gonna
in
have to be
fork.
feeding me. Somebody's gonna have to be feeding me because my arms are gonna be like locked like this.
He goes to grab his
Um,
drink.
Yeah.
Be like a T-Rex.
Yeah, I'm literally gonna be like, ow. This
just
takes
give you a
too much
straw.
back pressure. But it's gonna be great. I can't wait to see how I do forklift driving on Monday. That's gonna be fantastic. Go to pull a lever. Oh, for Christ's sake. Anyway, hope you guys have fun. Take it easy. If you watch this long, you're awesome. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, comment, let us know you love us. Talk to you later.